In the early 2000s, when the internet was still young and mysterious, a legend began to circulate through Japanese forums and chat rooms. It spoke of a pop-up window that appeared without warning, a window that couldn't be closed, a window painted entirely in red. They called it the Red Room, and those who encountered it were never the same again. Welcome to a journey into one of the internet's most haunting urban legends. The Red Room legend first emerged around 2004, spreading rapidly through 2channel, Japan's most popular anonymous message board. The story was simple yet terrifying. Users browsing the internet would suddenly encounter a pop-up window with a bright red background. A childlike voice would ask in Japanese, "Do you like the Red Room?" No matter what the user did, the window couldn't be closed. And then, the cursor would begin moving on its own, scrolling through a list of names of people who had recently died by suicide. According to the legend, once you saw your name appear on that list, your fate was sealed. Within days, you would be found dead in your own home. But here's where it gets even more disturbing. Your room, wherever you died, would be completely painted in red. Not with paint, but with your own blood. The walls, the ceiling, everything covered in crimson. And then your name would be added to the list, waiting for the next victim to see. The Red Room wasn't just a legend. It was a chain of death, perpetuating itself through the very medium that spawned it. What made the Red Room legend particularly viral was an actual flash animation created by an unknown artist. This animation depicted the entire story, complete with the haunting childlike voice asking, "Do you like the Red Room?" over and over. The animation was crude by today's standards, but its simplicity made it more unsettling. The repetitive audio, the slow reveal of the horror, and the final jump scare left viewers genuinely disturbed. This flash animation became one of the earliest examples of internet horror that could be experienced directly, blurring the line between fiction and reality. But here's where the legend takes a dark turn into reality. In 2004, the same year the Red Room legend emerged, an 11-year-old girl in Sasebo, Japan, took the life of her classmate. When investigators examined her computer, they found that she had been viewing the Red Room animation repeatedly. The case shocked Japan and created an eerie connection between the digital legend and real-world tragedy. While experts debated whether the animation influenced the crime or was simply a coincidence, the incident cemented the Red Room's place in internet horror history. It raised uncomfortable questions. Can digital content drive people to madness? Where is the line between entertainment and psychological harm? Psychologists have studied why the Red Room legend became so effective at terrifying people. The answer lies in several factors. First, it exploits our fear of losing control. The pop-up that won't close represents technology turning against us. Second, it uses repetition and the uncanny valley effect with the childlike voice, creating deep psychological discomfort. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it invaded personal space. The legend suggested that simply by using your computer, you could invite death into your own home. This wasn't a ghost in a haunted house you could avoid. This was a threat that existed in the one place you thought was safe, your digital space. The Red Room taught us that horror had evolved. It no longer needed physical presence. It could travel through cables and wireless signals, finding us wherever we connected. 20 years later, the Red Room legend continues to evolve. New versions have emerged for the smartphone era, tales of cursed apps that install themselves, mysterious red-themed social media accounts that follow you and predict your death, and AR experiences that overlay the Red Room onto your actual physical space. The legend has inspired countless stories, games, and creepypastas across the world. In South Korea, there's the Red Room Challenge. In China, variations involve cursed live streams. The core concept remains the same: technology as a vector for supernatural horror. What makes these modern iterations so compelling is that they reflect our current anxieties. We're more connected than ever, more dependent on our devices, and therefore more vulnerable to the idea that these devices could become instruments of our demise. So what's the truth behind the Red Room? Is it just a clever piece of internet folklore, or does it represent something deeper about our relationship with technology? The answer, perhaps, lies somewhere in between. The Red Room is fiction, but the fears it represents are real. Our digital lives have become so intertwined with our physical existence that the boundary between the two grows thinner every day. And in that liminal space, legends like the Red Room thrive. Before you close this video, let me leave you with this thought. The Red Room legend asks a simple question. Do you like the Red Room? But maybe the real question is, in our hyper-connected world, can we ever truly close the window? Can we ever really log off? Or are we all, in some way, already living in the Red Room? Thank you for watching. Sleep well, if you can.